Welcome and welcome back to the Metro Icon Podcast. I'm Shawn Kay the Showman of Do It All Entertainment and DIA Media to bring you this new Metro Icon episode. And of course, I got to let you guys know what's going on. You know that the Library Bar is the full resident spot to catch me at every single week. We got the first and third Tuesdays of the month where we have the live podcast party with On Air Don't Care, where me and my guy Blue Label Johnny, we lay down our explosive dynamic in a live interaction show where outside of the off-the-wall topics of discussion, we bring on people who sign up for an interview slot to discuss anything they would like to engage with us about. And we are the only ones doing this anywhere, y'all. So if you want to see what it's all about, you can come showcase yourself and feature on Air Don't Care and catch us at the Library Bar every first and third Tuesday of the month. And then we alternate with the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month where I host an open mic and karaoke night for everyone to come have fun and showcase any original material, whether it's comedy, music, magic, I don't care. But we will be putting on a talent showcase every other month for the amazing talents that come through for either the open mic karaoke or for the live podcast party. And our talent showcase, our very first one, will be happening on March 8th. So definitely come through. Check us out on Tuesday nights where it's always going down at Library Bar every single week. And of course, I got all sorts of different shows I got around DFW and actually other states now, y'all. This Friday, I'll be back at Library Bar in Fort Worth DJing from 10 to 2 a.m. Saturday, I got a comedy show with my guy George Red Speaks in Shreveport, Louisiana. I don't know if I have any fans in Louisiana, but hopefully I make some. And then Sunday, I'll be at Lola's in downtown Fort Worth for Ian Mack in his comedy showcase. So a lot going on this weekend. But of course, make sure you guys are following me on Instagram at Shawn Kay Do It All to get the announcements of all my upcoming shows and events that you can come check out. And of course, this episode would be nothing without talking about our sponsors and the amazing offers that come with it, starting with InsiderCloth.com, which is the last microfiber cloth you will ever need. Y'all got the habits of using your shirts and your fabrics to be able to clean off your screens and your glass lenses, but you don't understand that you will actually lessen the quality and visibility of those services. With Insider Cloth, it is the innovative solution that's so easy to apply. You just peel all you do is peel, apply, iron, and you're good to go. And it can literally apply to most of your common wear. And it's seriously the best kept secret that I have on so many of my clothes right now. I even have it on my vest right now. So make sure you guys go to insidercloth.com and apply the promo code DIACLOTH, that's DIACLOTH, to receive 10% off your next order. And then, of course, I got to talk about my guy, Teddy Johnson of DNK Contracting. This is the do-it-all of contract work for any of your next home restoration projects or that insurance claim that you got to get done, especially with all these new regulations that are happening in the state of Texas, especially for insurance repairs on your home. This is the guy who will take away your biggest headaches to make sure you get it done right, and he will provide you the greatest return of result. All you got to do is email him and get a free consultation at teddyj.dkcontracting@gmail.com. You'll see why every single person that go work with Teddy always goes back. And finally, of course, whether it's your next live event or your live media production, I am your one-stop event shop. You can hit up Do It All Entertainment for your next private event or corporate event to put on whatever party package you would like. And then we got DIA Media to get you fully covered on your entertainment or media production needs. And you can get up to $150 off your next contract package, either with Do It All Entertainment or with my company, DIA Media. This episode is super, super fun. This is kind of going to be a 3-week series, y'all, all right? This one is actually going to be hosting, or I'm featuring my guy, Anthony Ramoz. He's an awesome comedian around the DFW area, a guy that I know from my Thursday runs at Reno's Chop Shop in Deep Ellum. And he kind of filled in for this guy, Steady Eddie. If you followed me on my socials, you'll know my relationship with Steady Eddie, but he did not come for this episode, and Anthony ended up coming through to fill in, and this kind of carries for the next few weeks, y'all. So go ahead. This is a very fun episode. Turn your speakers up and get ready. This is my Metro Icon episode with Anthony Ramoz. manscaping is going to start to come through.
You can't do it all, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the Metro Icon Podcast. I'm Shawn Kay the Showman, and you know what we do on this podcast? We talk about the world of entertainment and media and the icons that live in it. And I also love the icons that are a little bit low-key. They're the ones that you see sometimes on those underground circuits, and they are just surrounded by good people, energy, and characters. And this guy is showing up in place of another person who didn't show up. We pretty much we're supposed to have this Spanish hilarious Mexican comedian, and we replaced it with another Mexican. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Anthony Ramoz.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. See the audience that we get. They're all for here.
This is bigger than most mics I do.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And I love how you replaced the Mexican with another Mexican.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the conscious effort I make. I pay attention to details. No, man. Actually, what happened was Eddie did what I had a feeling Eddie was going to do when we confirmed this podcast recording last night. After a very successful 1-year anniversary show at Reno's, which is my Thursday roll. So my Thursday roll every Thursday at Deep Ellum, I go to Reno's Chop Shop. Well, first I go to Twilight Lounge to sign up and put my name on the karaoke list.
Is that just karaoke at Twilight?
It's just karaoke, but it's always a time, dude. There's always like a party in a small crowd, and it's even on like the dead times in Deep Ellum, like it always turns up. So it's like that's kind of my double mic feature that I do, right?
Hell yeah.
And so Eddie is the one that like he goes to those karaoke nights. He kind of does the same thing. He goes back and forth. So anyways, like we confirmed this last night and shit after hanging out the show and then doing, at karaoke. And then I got my chicken and rice from Big Guys and went home. This is what I do every single Thursday. And he was like, I texted him my address. He's like, 1 p.m. It works. He's like, anytime, man. I'm good. Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
And then I like check in with him, and it was like after one. It was like 1:05 p.m. He's like, oh man, I got called into work, bro. Man, I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, work doesn't call at 1 p.m. and it's just like, you got to go now.
So it depends on the job, man. I don't even know.
You know what? I wouldn't put him past him. He just woke up at 1 p.m. His girls asked him to do something, and it's just, he just can't fit it in his obligations today. All right. I know Eddie, bro. Eddie is like, he's calculated. He knows he can be a really good liar if he wants to.
I like Eddie though, man.
I love Eddie. I love Eddie. Eddie was on my show. I called Eddie my favorite asshole in Dallas. That's what I called Eddie. He's my favorite asshole in Dallas.
He has been an asshole to me sometimes, but at the same time, just like, well, it's usually when I ask him for advice, I'm like, well, I mean, he is right.
Yeah.
And
the funny thing is, I had a conversation, like after confirming everything, he had a conversation. He like talked to me and he was like telling me something serious. He's like, hey man, I just kind of realized that I might be an asshole. Like, and he said this as like a discovery feature. I'm like, so I'm just looking at him. I'm like, oh really?
No shit.
You discovered this? Who said it?
It's a lot for him to discover.
I'm like, I'm fucking believable, this guy. Anyways, you came and showed up, my guy,
Yes, sir.
Anthony. So you were here, and I'm happy that you're here, bro, because I gotta say, dude. Oh, by the way, how does the bourbon?
So I knew whenever you got the bottle, like you were like, do you want bourbon? Well, yeah, sure. And you got Evan Williams honey. Look, I have no problem with Evan Williams because they're one of my contracts.
Yeah.
But,
Are they really?
Yeah. Like so.
Oh yeah, because you work in alcohol.
Yeah, I work for a liquor distributor.
You know what's funny? I did a feature in Deep Ellum Radio yesterday and met a company that just started 2 weeks ago, a non-alcoholic brewing company.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah,
and they all taste like shit.
Yeah,
they all.
It was
taste
interesting.
Like shit.
It's not alcohol.
Yeah,
but it's like it's a fair substitute. They had like a version of Platts Blue Ribbon. They had like a Moscow Mule. Like they have all these different mocktails, but they have boozes.
Yeah,
and they're like whiskeys and tequilas and all that. And they're all non-alcoholic.
Every single non-alcoholic beer I've had is just like this is basically just apple juice.
Yeah,
like
It's like I love.
It
was funny because I did this feature on Deep Ellum Radio, and I pretty much like, so let me taste this cider collection that you have here.
No
and
shit.
I was kind of, but they actually loved it. They kind of loved a little bit of theirs. So I'm like, you know what? This is kind of cool. It's like a Deep Ellum vibe of mocktails. And it's like veganism. It's like there's sobriety, like, completely sober people like Henson Point Teddy. Like he's a completely sober guy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it could be a fair substitute. It's like sometimes it's the deterrent of being sober that deters people from social settings because of the enticement. But I actually learned in college that if you just have something in your hand and it just looks like a drink, even if it's like a gin and tonic or a club soda, people kind of think that you're just drinking. There's actually less pressure that's kind of brought into you. So I get the respect of the brand.
I have a lot of respect for people that can go like just sober, just completely sober. Like, I mean, I don't even know if I could really do
my
that.
thing is, I'm like, maybe I'll get there one day.
Yeah, exactly. one drink at a time. Yeah. Like, I went from drinking 2 bottles of wine to just one. So,
exactly.
We're making progress.
We put paces. But no, I met to talk. I want to bring it back to you, dude. And I appreciate you showed up. I went live on Instagram because I was so mad and annoyed with Eddie, and I had to call this motherfucker out.
It's funny, dude. Like you went live, and I got a notification on my phone, and like I was driving home for my last store for the day. And I saw like, oh yeah, like we need somebody on the podcast. I'm like, fuck it, dude. I'm not doing anything. I'm done for the day. Let me smoke a little bit and I'll go to Capel. Sounds like
there
fun.
we go.
Hell yeah.
That's my shit, man. Because like, and I'm just kind of like, I've never really kind of done that, you know. But you know, it's just like, yo, you know, like we're filling the gap. It's like it's more so. What? Oh.
It's all dinging, and I'm like.
I thought you were coming up to Anthony for one of your surprise tickle fights that you love so much, John.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. John just loves to sneak up behind people and be like, Gucci.
My instincts will be to elbow you.
Yeah. But no, it's so either way, the fact that you showed up, like I didn't know anyone was gonna actually come through, but I'm like, yo, dude, hell yeah. And I'm glad that I'm talking to you, man, because after especially seeing the result and you know, really I've gone to, I want to say a good at least dozen open mics at Reno's. Like I've made it a kind of consistent thing for at least a good 4 or 5 months now.
Yeah, we would call you a regular.
Yeah. And then there was also a pocket, I remember. I mean, and obviously it's had that like any other open mic, like it's Dead Nights and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But there's been a shift that's been coming back and kind of given more notoriety. And I noticed that the Deadest Nights were actually the nights that you weren't there.
Wait,
I'm telling you, I'm putting this on a stamp, and I know Noah's gonna be like, "Fuck you, dude!" Like he's gonna be like so like offended and all this kind of shit. But no, for real talk, and that was kind of like that's kind of like my ongoing bit with him for the show. But it's a real type of thing because like I noticed that there wasn't as much dynamic, and when Noah's there by himself, he doesn't have that support. You as a support system, like that's such a key quality. It's like, you know, it's kind of the basis of the relationship. Me and John just fully support each other, and I know Noah does that for you too.
Yeah,
like I mean, you're on every single one of his shows.
Yeah, I mean Noah's always been just very supportive, like ever since the beginning.
Like, but it's also not to say because you're actually a great comedian, dude.
Oh, like
I think you have a great feel, man. And look at this. Like, can we just? I want John. Can you actually just zoom in on his mustache, dude? Just
Jesus
can we just do? Is it possible to just really get a good look of his mustache?
I was gonna say I think that's a post-production thing.
Say enhance.
I'm sorry, enhance. Can we enhance on this mustachio thing? No, it's legendary. Like I kind of have like. I coined this the showman tee, like my little swoop on the thing. It doesn't.
It's like Robert Downey Jr.-esque.
Thank you. Thank you. Dude, I was trying. This is like a Stark effect. I kid you not. Like when I, because I used to try, like, because I shave myself now, you know? Like, everywhere. And so,
I would hope you shave yourself.
Yeah. That's how I budget. You know, I don't have to go to a barbershop. Budget excluded, you know? It's all me, you know?
Like I swear I'm in Frisco right now.
No. You're in Capel. You're exactly where you need to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Trust me, bro. Irving is literally just like a couple blocks away. So
no shit, dude.
Yeah, we got Irving, Grand Prairie, all around here, bro. And we're real close to DFW Airport, which is 50% of just their staff. So
exactly.
Ultimately, dude, like, you know, I consider myself probably one of the most interesting Indians that's in this area that they don't know I exist, because even my neighbors think like, oh, you know, they got a Filipino roommate. That's what's up. You know, like that's what pretty much all the neighbors say.
So I got a question for you about Indians. So like I said, I work in the liquor industry.
I have an answer. Let's go.
Okay. So why do Indians love Johnny Walker so fucking much? Because every single time I fuck.
All right, so we're gonna start the answer with just an accreditation.
Okay.
So John, his name, like his artist tag, it's Blue Label Johnny.
There you go. Yeah. See, I'm not fucking wrong about this.
You're not wrong.
I'm not stereotyping.
You're not
I'm
wrong.
just saying what I noticed.
I mean, I have at least. I mean, I'm sure there's several answers, but I have one significant one.
What's the significant
So,
one?
Yeah,
in
you
South
do.
India,
Mm-hmm.
are you familiar with the liquor called kal?
Yeah, color.
Have you ever? Do you know what it looks like in India?
Yeah, well, I know color and I know like wata.
Well, do you know like what goes in the kal?
What is it made from?
Yes.
Coconut, right?
The better answer is yes.
What do they put? What do they put in the coconut, Johnny?
No. I didn't say coconut. Yes, I said when he said what he put in it, I said yes.
Fucking everything.
So like, in yes, all kind of things beginning to collect and whatever is going on.
Yeah.
So when you drink the kal, your mustache wouldn't suffice. You gotta have the mustache that goes on your
Oh
lip.
yeah.
So like your
As a
mustache
filter, you gotta filter them top
filters
lips.
You know who
shit on
who
the
could do
side.
that is
So-
Dante.
So now when you think about it, now,
Oh yeah, Dante. Yes,
now,
yes,
now
yes.
that you can buy liquor other than one that some local guy makes in a bootleg distillery,
Mm-hmm.
you go for the best bootleg. You go for the best
See,
whiskey you can get. Johnny Walker Blue.
see, that's fair because like every single time like I'm in the Scotch aisle, there's always some Indian that comes to me. What is your Johnny Walker 18? I know you said you have it online. Like,
Almost there. It's almost there.
It's always like I don't do a good Indian. I do a good Australian.
Come on, Holmes.
I do a good Australian.
You can
I
do
don't
it,
do a
bro.
good. I don't
You
do a
can
good
do
Indian.
it.
But they always do the head bobble. Like and it's
Yeah.
always. I know you have it online.
Yeah,
it says
man.
you have it online. Like,
Yeah, dude. It's that's so. Well, the head bobble is more just streamlining our communication standards.
yeah,
That's
no, I
pretty
get the
much what it
head
is.
bobble. I worked in hotels for a
Blue
second,
Label,
yeah.
like you know, what's your explanation, Johnny, of why Indians choose Johnny Walker?
Because they're running as far as they can from.
Color?
Yeah, like this very bootleg cheap liquor.
Yeah.
So you just want to get away from the cheap shit and just
Yeah,
like
I know-
what's the most
no.
expensive?
Run as
But here's the deal.
far-
Here's
Now they
here's
got
the
money.
deal.
You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
got money now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because this is why I think that in America, Johnny Walker is yes. I think there is a thing to yes, walk away from the and color is not the only thing that is shit that they're trying to walk away in India. It's a
literal shit.
little shit that they're trying to walk away from. You know, when they're trying to start a life in America. But with Johnny Walker, there's leagues and standards, right?
Yeah.
And so having it as a house liquor, like if you have Black Label, like that's like a decent whiskey, and we're brown drinkers for the most part,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a good whiskey and Scotch. It's a good. It's also a stat. People know it internationally,
Right.
But it's that brand that kind of reaches because they sell that in India, and so but. If you are celebrating something, then you're busting out the Blue Label, the Gold Label,
The
you know,
18 and all
yeah,
that
and all
shit.
that kind
Yeah,
of shit,
yeah.
right? The other one that Indians love is Hennessy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they love Hennessy.
Y'all do not fuck with Courvoisier. Like
Yeah.
none of you are buying
They
Courvoisier.
don't know,
It's
'cause they don't know.
Yeah,
exactly. It's only Hennessy.
Right.
It's only Hennessy. No Remy Martin. No Courvoisier.
Well, I mean, a lot of
Like,
South Indians will actually, like, especially there's like some winnings and stuff. They will actually pick up, and some of them probably own the liquor stores. They own the liquor stores too, but they'll bring in Remy Martin.
Generation of Indians don't know nothing about no Remy Martin.
Yeah, but younger ones too. Yeah, but like the parents will pay for it at some of these like South Indian weddings and shit. You'll see them. I'm like, oh, Remy up, like.
I love how I came to a podcast. I'm getting a fucking cultural indictment.
But
on
you getting
Indians.
answers, bro. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I came here for answers. I got
We
some.
came here to provide it, you know.
What's the liquor preference of the Hispanic community?
Did you just spit take a little bit, dude?
What's the whiskey preference of the Hispanic community? What's
Buchanas, Buchanan's.
Buchanan?
They love Buchanan's.
Okay.
Don't ask me why. I'm not that kind of beaner. I have no fucking idea.
I've never had it. I just
So,
know Buchanan.
so, are you able to say like which liquor company you work for?
I'd prefer not to.
So, do you work with a distributor? Or
I
do you-
work for the distributor.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
for sure. So
Yeah.
you're working with like liquor stores and essentially providing them their like stock.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that like people that do know their distributors, I said I distribute Evan Williams. Now they're gonna be like, oh, I know which one that is. But
Dude, like listen, this is because I'm an old fashioned man.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be, and I'll fucking name drop this shit right now. I
Yeah.
used to be a huge Jack Daniel's honey fan. That's how
Okay.
I kind of got like, it was like my old fashioned in a bottle. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I just ice it up and I just kind of can drink a sip, but I just do it as an easy sip.
Mm-hmm.
And then Evan Williams honey came out.
Yeah.
And then it has like that touch of the orange liqueur. And I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care. It's 2% less alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm like, it is significantly more efficiently priced.
Yeah.
And so like this is like my drink of choice. All day, every day, this will always be my drink of choice. So
See,
Evan Williams.
I love a good strong bourbon. Like my thing with alcohol is
You like that burn.
I do.
You
the
like that
The
burn.
reason why though is because like growing up, like whenever I was like 19 or 20, I was like just drinking all the sweet shit I could because I didn't like the taste of alcohol.
How old are you?
I'm 27. Yeah, well, I'm turning 27 in March, so I'm telling people
I'm turning
27.
36 next month.
Motherfucker.
Actually, like, yeah, a little less.
And you look younger than me. Ain't that a bitch? Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm heading that way.
How about now?
Dude, my shit is thinning. Like,
How about now?
a fucking gust of wind can ruin my day if I if I style
I
my
know
hair.
those days, dude. So I used to like, I kind of, if you look at old pictures of me, like I had like I mean, it was started coming in my early 20s and shit, and I kind of had like a faux hawk style for a good time, and then it kind of became like, let's call it like a little like back comb over type of thing. But you know, man, I was doing like hair restoration stuff, and
I'm
then,
doing that too.
and then hair fillers.
I'm doing that.
and then hair fillers. Like I actually had hair fibers.
Oh shit.
You know, like I put this on for a lot of my like my cousins and shit, like that are starting to thin. They're like, you know, in their mid to late 20s. And
I was
then
gonna say, when did you start thinning?
so yeah, I was like 22, 23. Like
Yeah,
I
it was
started
around
noticing,
the
I
same
started
time.
noticing it kind of going back, and then it started really thinning after like 26, 27.
That's about where I'm at too. Like,
Yeah.
I really started to notice it at like 24.
Like especially like in the front, like you can still see it. It's very Jason Statham style, which is kind of funny. I just brought him up a little bit earlier, but then it's like there's like different weird like kind of like almost like alopecia or like dead zone spots.
Yeah.
And so so like I started putting in fillers and all this kind of stuff. And then on my 30th birthday, I'm like, you know, and it was a good length. Like it kind of like, even when I slicked it back, like it kind of came down and a little bit, you know, I went to a barbershop, I got lined up, and that's like a good, like I was spending like 120 to 160 bucks a
God damn,
month.
was this in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but like with tip and all this kind of stuff, dude, I even at one point, I think I was like maybe 27, 28. It was when my dad had an Al's Beef, and right down the street was a barber school. And he had an Al's Italian Beef, and we were downtown in South Loop, Chicago. And I used to go to that barber school because I used to get, you get like $10 cuts. And these are guys that had been probably cut in, but they're just getting their barber's license, right?
Right.
And so I knew the school because we would give them deals for like lunch and shit. So I went to the owner. I'm like, yo, I need you to give you like your fire student, you know? And so they gave me this guy that's getting his mastery. Like he's just in the school simply to get his mastery. I mean, but he does it by teaching some of these new kids.
Right.
It was a barber from the Hyde Park hair salon where Barack Obama used to get his haircuts, right? So like I was getting a deal with this dude.
Yeah,
And then
Paid or not? Who cares where he used to work?
hold on. Barack! He is Chicago's gem.
Rock's pay was never that crispy, so I don't know. Like that's not a flex.
Because he's a humble man.
Look, if
like
the- if
Nelson Mandela.
I gotta
All
say,
his excuses was the man.
Shut up.
paid.
I gotta
This is not
say-
on air, don't care, Johnny. This is not on air, don't care. You wait till Tuesday, sir.
look, all I'll say is this: if a president goes into office with a fade, I don't trust him. Like I don't. If it's like a crispy, good fade, I don't trust him. Like
Yeah. I feel that too.
Yeah, because it's
I feel that. I feel that.
only way I trust
I feel that, bro. It's the PR game. It's the PR game, you know.
Because like if you ever look at people that are like masters of their crafts and everything,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
look fucked up.
Yeah.
Like they don't look presentable. Like I'm not trying to be mean to
like they
Louis
lack
CK,
that.
but-
Like I'm not some sleeping less because of this game.
Yeah,
like, you know,
exactly.
you have,
It's like I'm
you'll
not
be
worried about
rummaged.
what I look like.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
worried
yeah,
about
yeah.
the output. Like
Yeah,
that's
for
the
sure.
kind of person I want.
For sure,
you
for
know?
sure.
I don't want someone
I feel
who's
that,
like
I feel
I
that.
look like $100. Like
I want,
fuck that.
I want, you want somebody with a little dirt between their
I
fingernails.
want somebody
you
a
know?
little ugly. You know,
Yeah.
I want somebody a little ugly. I don't want a hot president. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh shit! Well, we got Biden, so you know, old can
Yeah,
fit.
yeah, dude.
But no, Biden was pretty good looking back in the day.
Oh,
man.
yeah, he was a stud.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
a
he was a
stud. He was
stud,
kind of
yeah.
a stud. You know, and so yeah, I kind of understand that point. That's a good point. But you know, we don't talk about politics and this on this
sir.
podcast.
No,
we try not
sir.
to. But either way, man, I do have to say a big congratulations to what you guys did last night, dude. It was a great show. You had Gus's fried chicken.
Oh yeah.
Dude, if they're able to do that every week, Noah's fucking mic is going to be popping, dog.
It's already popping. Man.
It's already,
Like,
but yeah,
it's
that's
getting
actually what I was
crazy,
gonna say.
yeah.
Is that like in the last, I would say like 5-6 Thursdays.
Mhm.
So let me ask you, when did you come back? Because you were gone for like a good like month and a half, 2 months. I feel like
No, I.
there was a good amount of Thursdays you were not there.
I was on and off for about 2 months. Yeah, like I would go.
When did you start doing stand up?
A year ago today. Like actually, like a year ago today. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, a year ago today. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a journey, man. It's been fun. Like, I never realized how fast a year could really go.
Yeah.
Until like now.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Like,
that was. I mean, doing my more to go thing. That was to honor that. I mean, I showed you like my Letterman job, but like, dude, for me, I took a big deal out of that, and it's a big deal when any other comedian tells me that because I understand. I had an understanding. I knew I was in an advantage coming in because of my career and what I do as an MC. But I had an understanding of how the politics and how comedians can be, and like it was just a world that I was always gravitated and I loved. And I graduated from Second City. I don't know if you know that. So like I did improv comedy, and I graduated from that full program.
Okay,
so I did like 5 or 6 shows there. But I did
You
that.
had a little bit of a leg up.
Yeah, right. So like, but that's my full-time career is doing private events. I'm in
Yeah.
that business, provide the AV. Like that's why the showman is the performer, but like it's really the guy that understands the business, the sales, the marketing, and he understands all that back end, right? And so like when I was doing this 1 year, I mean, I've been recording my sets. I haven't put up much my stuff. I'm very
me
actually.
either. I've been lazy
I'm
about
very, but
that,
I'm also
yeah.
very critical of my shit. You
Yeah.
know, like there's certain things where I kind of maybe got some. But I'm like, I don't want to add a laugh track, like, It's,
If you're having to add a laugh track, you should probably work on your material a little bit more. Focus on what's important.
Imagine. Oh, this would be a good bit, like or like a video bit. Just came to me right now. But imagine what the bit like as it's like whatever, and you have like the scattered laughs type of thing, and then you replay the bit, and then you add a laugh track, and then does the make the joke better? Like what I'm saying? Like
I feel like it does in a way because like it's the same thing with like
I feel like it'd be a psychology thing. Like people, it's like you see someone sneeze, you have to sneeze. You see someone laugh, you have to laugh.
Well, that's why comedy club shows are so much better than like
Oh, yeah.
bar shows. Because like bar shows, you're fighting.
Restaurant shows and shit. Yeah,
I love
yeah,
those
yeah.
though. I love fighting for people's
And
attention.
I also love
It's
Reno's.
fun.
Like
Yeah.
like Reno's is also that venue is a very heavy metal, grungy
man.
rock. Like you get what you get as soon as you walk in, you
Hell
know.
yeah, yeah.
And then in the back, what was it last Thursday?
Yeah.
When the fucking rat ran past
Hey,
the
man.
back banister, bro.
Look. If you're going to Reno's, you shouldn't be going there for like a clean time.
So
That's
so
not-
funny. So funny is that last I saw Mighty Mike.
Yeah.
And so, and then I'm gonna I talked to him, so I'm gonna have him on the show because
Hell yeah.
that would be fun one because man, Mighty Mike, it's like he's got a lot of black pride. He's from Nigeria and all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
And he knows that I'm Indian because he's heard me say content that I'm Indian. But I do I step my envelope with some of my black jokes and shit like that. So like
Yeah.
I actually prefaced to him because it was so funny last night. The first 2 comedians that got the wheel and they had a black joke and were dropping the N-bomb, right?
I literally said at the beginning of the show, like, "Hey man, we're live streaming this. Let's not
and you were
drop
off
in
for
bombs."
weeks, and
Yeah.
so this is your comeback,
Yeah,
and
it's
it was like,
let's not drop in bombs.
Yeah,
today.
yeah,
First
yeah,
comedian
yeah.
up there, like, fuck, man.
it was the first 2. Well, no,
Yeah.
it was the first comedian, and then the second one was there was like more of a black reference joke.
Yeah.
Type of, not saying the N word,
Yeah.
but it was like such a borderline joke type of
Yeah,
thing.
it was close.
What did you think of my N word joke?
Dude, okay, that one, like, I feel like you can get away with saying it because no one's, like, you're so racially ambiguous. It's like,
Well,
he
it's an
might be
Asian joke.
mixed. Yeah.
It's an Asian joke.
Yeah, you can
right?
get away with it, yeah.
It's an Asian joke, actually.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like I can get away with it. But it's bring it back. So, like, I love the joke so much because anyways, after those 2 guys have it, right? After each time it happened, my instant reaction is whenever I hear fucking something like that, I look right at like whatever black audience member or comedian or whatever. But I usually I'll go to fucking Mighty Mike if he's there because he's like, he's a black pride, and so when I look at him, dude, straight up, I'm gonna try and do this without laughing. But when I look straight up at him at the first time, and he just does this, he goes, Like he's looking around, like everyone's just gonna be okay with this. Like no one's gonna stand up, and he's not gonna cause a situation he don't need to, right? But you know, if they all have a common viewpoint on something, they gonna rise.
Well, it's like my bit about like this is actually a true story about when I said the N-word in the 3rd grade, and like I got in trouble for it. But like,
hell yeah, talk about it.
Like, so whenever I do the bit, like whenever I'm explaining myself, I look at black people while I'm explaining myself because it makes it more funny. Because it's like I'm able to explain this to you, and like if you actually have a problem with me saying that the N-word in 3rd grade, it's like grow up, you know. But yeah, when I was in the 3rd grade, so I'm dyslexic.
Yeah,
and
I am too.
I didn't know that shit until like after I graduated high school.
Dyslexia.
Dude, I didn't know that shit until like after high school. But I was a little bit slow.
Yeah.
But that was the first year that a teacher had a globe on the desk, and everyone like gaslit me into thinking that's how you said Niger. And so like everyone was like
just make it a French ass word.
Yeah, exactly. So like everyone was like trying to tell me like, no, you pronounce it like this, and then like how I said Nigeria was all fucked up too.
That's a good one.
It's a real thing.
I don't have a bell, but I'll give you this. There we go.
I'll take that. But no, that actually did. Like, there's a bunch of the bits I do. Like, it's shit that it's like actually happened to me.
Yeah.
And like, nobody really fucking believes it.
Yeah.
It's pretty absurd, but it's like, no, like that shit actually happened.
Yeah.
You know, like being called a wetback, being called a wetback in Arkansas, that's pretty believable.
Yeah, right.
But like, no, the guy.
But
that
I bet
checked
you
us in
fool.
and
I bet you
everything,
fooled some of them, like them Southern Souths, right? Like I'm sure, like because your presence, like I mean, I think that there is a good frame of like seeing your Hispanic like side and portfolio a little bit, but there is a little bit of like he could be something else too. You know,
I've gotten
but I
everything,
think it's your
dude.
style too.
Yeah.
I think it's the way you hold yourself because that's like I think if you were to like. Let's say cliche, you know, the dude that's showing up to like that, whatever. Yeah, what's that big, like Esplanade or Escapete or some shit? Like, there's a huge Mexican warehouse. It's like 11 Spanish clubs in one.
Oh, dude, I have no idea. I don't go out to Mexican clubs.
It's kind of like a. Hey, no, I've been telling my Mexican fiance that I'm gonna take her when they come out here and shit. But hey, man, you should just come, bro. But we'll come in the digs. We'll do it together. Cowboy hats and a suit.
Oh,
blazer and dark blue jeans.
See, but dude, I've gotten everything when it comes to race. Like if I grow my beard out, like.
But you're also like the way you communicate too.
Yeah.
It's because the same thing with me, right? Like, like that's why my one bit is like my racial ambiguity is so strong that I'm in the business of doing South Indian weddings for South Indians who have no idea that I'm South Indian.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a true thing, right?
Yeah.
And so like it's yours is a strength because I'm pretty sure that you would go to. I'm sure even within your family members, I'm sure that family reunion you can find Anthony Ramoz pretty.
We're all like I'm really pale. Like my grandma's really pale. And like the rest of my family is like
fair skin.
They're pretty dark.
You're the fair. You're very
I'm
fair.
fair skin. Yeah.
That's the Indian reference for light skin.
But it's funny because like it's only Mexicans that like right away know that I'm Mexican. Like for instance, like if I'm in a store like stocking something, like if I'm working my job. And so, like, there more than once a day, there would be like Mexican DoorDash drivers. Hola, mijo, mi necesitan ayuda. Like they'll fucking start talking to me in Spanish, and I speak okay Spanish. I'm not fluent,
but you definitely white boy Spanish.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can get by. You know, my parents didn't teach me. My grandparents tried and gave up. But like I learned enough from kitchens. You know. Dude, I worked in kitchens for 10 years. Like you got to be able to pick that shit up at
Let's
that
go.
point.
I feel that and I relate to that too often. I just got done telling you about my dad having like the Al's beef and stuff like that. But my first jobs were mostly serving jobs. Actually, it was my very first job, Wendy's.
Oh shit!
I was 15 years old.
My very
first. Really?
Sonic.
That's not. There we go.
Fuck no, it's not nice.
No. But no, I'm on a related level. First job related level, right? Fast food, right?
Yeah.
And then I got a job at Best Buy.
Okay.
And I worked there from like 16.
That's typical. That makes
16
sense.
to 18.
Yeah.
And then after like 2 Black Fridays, I'm like, there's
Fuck
something.
that.
And then I started working at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay.
And then I was like working in like the cash.
I can see you in the jersey and everything.
So you know what's so funny? I actually my entertainment career started from a Buffalo Wild Wings.
No shit.
So I was I was like 18 and it was like it was Halloween. It was a Halloween. It was a Monday night, and I was dressed as Napoleon Dynamite because that was the movie that came out, and I knew the fucking dance. Like,
Do you still know it?
I can do like I know the moves that he does that I can just kind of throw it in that it looks like I know the dance.
You shouldn't have told me that.
Yeah.
Just wait until next Thursday, buddy. If you show up, oh fuck.
Listen, bro. I know you smoke enough weed that if I take next Thursday off and show up the following Thursday, it'll never happen.
It might not even happen. It might not even happen the next.
But
Thursday.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Anthony. I'm gonna
what's
tell you
up?
this, like eye to eye.
What's up?
If I'm hopefully next Thursday, like I should. Yeah, I mean, right now I don't think I have anything booked. But if nothing comes up in the pot and I do my Thursday roll,
Yeah.
and you remember to do it,
Yeah.
and we spend like that's instead of me brewing the briefcase to Destiny, I do that.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
You can even bust out afro. Bring the afro, I'll wear it. I don't know if you know my head, but it looks really good in wigs.
Oh no shit. Yeah, it's
Really
like a
good.
it's like a bare canvas.
All the wigs.
Yeah.
Any of the wigs. All
Well,
right.
you can do face painting on that shit. It's
All
pretty
of it.
fucking smooth. Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Right? Like it sticks. You know, especially like if I don't shave, like if I'm like maybe a day or 2 days off of shaving, immediately, like Velcro, ain't going nowhere.
Has anybody ever put a plunger on your head?
I will fuck them up. If somebody did that shit, that would be yeah, as long as
Not
it's,
yet.
like not yet. It better be a brand new fucking plunger.
Well, yeah, no shit. You don't want to put a used plunger on your head. That's fucked
You don't
up.
know,
yeah.
motherfuckers. This is 2023.
Yeah,
People, motherfucker, are
white
bold,
people,
bro.
Yeah, white people are pretty
So
fucking
yeah,
weird
you know,
with
he
that
said
shit.
it. You know, the
And
Mexican
of
said
course,
it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I have no problem with fucking up with white people. Dude. I have no problem. with that.
I will. I know that there's like it's been like I've seen it in Magic. But yeah, there's certain things, man, that like I feel like that is like it's like I always say like I'm very different, especially from being from Chicago. But there's definitely a Chicago side of me. There's
Yeah.
certain things that like will very much trigger me.
Yeah.
And I will. It gets me in a mode to test a motherfucker.
Yeah, I
like
get that.
like I'll be like, yo, like I want this dude to hit me. Like
Yeah.
I want to tell him he ain't shit type of thing, you know. And so there's like I even had it on gigs. Like it happened very rarely, but like certain things where I just feel like the second I feel blatant disrespect, like, and I don't know you, and it's blatant disrespect.
Yeah.
That's where like my Chicago side, and I'm not a fighter. Like
Yeah.
I'm like the guy that like the few fights that I've been in where like a guy wanted to fight me, I had at least 3 or 4 friends that have been looking for a fight for weeks. Like they're willing to jump in at the drop of a hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If anyone fucks with you, you tell me first. Like they're like that motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I had all these dudes that's always had my back, and I guess call it a blessing for what it is. I have been in fights. I've had to throw punches every once in a while, but it's been very limited and to the scale of like a lot of my friends. You know, like
See, I don't know, dude. Like I've been smoking weed for too long. That like I do get angry.
But
like,
I got into
upset,
boxing
but,
at
like,
25 until
Yeah.
and that was like more my most fit stage.
Boxing's so fun, dude.
So you want to hear some dope shit?
What's that?
My fiance, and you just found out that she has 3 kids last night.
Yeah, you told me that last night. I was like, God damn, dude, you really signed on for an extended lease there, huh? Like, fuck.
So I'm always invited, bro.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen, dude. Listen, man, like our relationship is special, and I'm excited, man.
I'm excited for you.
I know
That's
I'm
awesome.
excited for what we're gonna come because it's like she and her kids. The biggest thing is that to the relationship that I wanted to be in, I just wanted someone who really understood me and also understood my career and what I needed to do. I'm a man that like. It looks like I'm going out, but I'm actually like really truly networking and I'm actually building and I'm like building relationships, but also like, to the creative aspect of, my nights went from karaoke nights to open mics.
Right.
Like it's me staying sharp to the craft. Right. And so like that has been the premise of a lot of my old relationships of being the common denominator of why it like probably they just couldn't accept.
Didn't work out.
Yeah, it just couldn't accept like my social life with my professional life,
Well,
right?
that makes sense. That's why I'm single too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it
yeah. I mean,
makes sense,
dude, I
yeah.
was single for 3.5 years
okay.
before I met her, right?
Yeah.
And then I met her a month through social media on Facebook. I met her a month after I decided I was moving to Texas from Chicago.
God damn.
Yeah. And so like the start of our relationship was both of us saying we don't like I don't want to date you. Like that was like literally what it was to she was like she has a very crazy backstory. I'm the second man she's ever been with. She's only been with the children, but it was a very abusive relationship, and I won't go into the details. But it's every level, and I've actually never said this, but every level of abuse that you can actually endure, like every single degree and level. That's what it was. It was a very chaining relationship, you know, and I want to say like her kids became a circumstance that she didn't ask for, but took up the mantle full force. Yeah. Like he had zero contribution to that, so they don't even know. And this guy, like the divorce came like like 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, whatever. It came to the point where like he had a kid prior, but then. You know that the grandmother was essentially had the sole custody, right? But then this guy was like a semi-professional musician, and he ended up having multiple wives with multiple kids, and this dude is like the worst, and it's like I don't want to
worst,
bro,
the most worst,
and I won't even talk about the case that got him fully away. That you know he almost killed her. Pretty much. To who she is, she shouldn't be who she is. You know, like
everything you've ever said about her has always been in a very positive light.
Yeah, I mean, she's still an Hispanic woman, so she has her moments where she's going to get loca.
We're resilient.
Yeah.
Dude,
she's very strongly spoken.
Yeah,
and you know, but the thing is that she's never needed a man to take care of her kids. So that was a big. She's like, I'm never going to need a man. She never wants to have the reliability of a man to take care of her kids, and that. Instantly, I had that respect for her. You know?
Yeah.
I'm paying for a lot more shit now, so it's just I don't know.
Shit, dude. You're talking to me.
She definitely but like I do it definitely out of good effort and merit because so meeting her kids actually was the last thing because we just kept getting to know each other, and it just was this instant a gravitation to each other. Like we just couldn't quit each other, even though we didn't want each other. She knew I was leaving, and I didn't want to be in a relationship when I moved. She knew I was leaving, and then I was just like, we just kept on. And then finally, I felt like I want to be serious with this girl, but I'm like, let me meet your kids. I'm like, because I'm the greatest funkle on the planet. I have YouTube videos to prove it. All right, but I don't like all kids.
Yeah,
I will talk shit to a kid's face.
Oh, I do it all. I do it all the time. All the time.
Like I've told a kid, like, you're not cute. Like, you think that's cute? You're not cute. I've done shit at weddings where like kids, like when parents are just being oblivious, and there's like this maid of honor, sister, bride, who's like doing a speech, and this kid's just running around on the fucking dance floor. I'm like, hey, take me to your parents right now. Take me.
Dude,
and I'll yell at the parents. I'll yell at the parents in front of the kids, but I also tell the kids, you're not cute. And I'll just like, all right.
I have a great story for you. So whenever I don't mind women that have kids because they give the best head. Like it's a hidden secret.
Really?
Oh,
I don't know. I mean, I know. I mean, I do. I mean, I don't want to. I shouldn't. Like,
but,
yeah, okay.
But like, I was hooking up with this girl from Fort Worth, and she had 2 kids. And one of them was like 6, and the other one was 4. And I went over and I met them and everything, and they were going to be picked up by her baby daddy, and he was going to take them for the day. And one of them, the 6-year-old, comes up to me. He's like, "Why do we have to leave you and mommy alone?" And like, again, I'm an asshole, so I just looked at him and was like, "Cause I'm gonna fuck your mom." Like that's. And then the kids just kind of like, "What does that mean?" I was like, "Ask your dad." Like, ask your dad.
That's why you laugh to all my jokes about my You know what I'm saying? Like when I talk. Yeah, I was like,
I don't really give
you
a
relate.
Shit. Yeah, I don't really give a shit. Like I say, like, that's kind of why I got into stand up, is because like I don't really give a shit. Like, I will say anything that's on my mind.
I mean, honestly, bro,
really
dude, like I think through going through therapy, I realized that, like, you know, most people, they don't understand that they lie to people in their lives, but no matter what, they're always the number one person they're always going to be lying to is themselves. Like, and when I kind of made like this like pact vow, it's literally going into 2018, and I just kind of like, I'm not lying to myself. I'm just not done. I'm like, I'm going to speak exactly, like, somebody's going to have to convince me if it's like a point that, you know, whatever is selfish, it could be, you know,
right.
But regardless, I'm speak my truth as open as it is, and also like to myself, like, if I'm fucking up, if I'm have a lack of accountability, if I woke up late, whatever, like I'm going to admit like, no, I fucked up, you know, and not lie about it, you know, and not create circumstances to hide something that isn't. You
I think
know?
that's a really big step that a lot of people just don't want to take.
They don't know that,
They don't want to.
and actually, it's a superpower because once you get to the mode where you stop lying to yourself, the whole world will make sense. And I believe that it was like the fountain of youth and all that kind of stuff. So either way, I think I was going into a tangent. I went from another tangent to another tangent. What I was actually saying before was my fiance's kids are great. That's
there you go.
compared to kids there's a lot of kids I don't like.
Yeah.
But her kids are great. But what I was going back to is when you're talking about boxing, her son, whose birthday's 3 days before mine. Mine's 17th. His is on Valentine's Day.
Hell yeah.
He's gonna be 15. He's already going into boxing professionally.
Hell yeah, dude.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Those are some scary motherfuckers, dude.
Hey, you want to know something?
I think people underestimate kids sometimes. Like there are some kids that can fuck you up.
Listen, dude, our abundance of knowledge and the access and resource to it is insurmountable now. So kids and he's a kid that has experienced and seen. He had to grow up fast.
Yeah.
He had to grow up very, very fast. Like who he is when I first met him is not who he is today.
Right.
You know? And so I have a very honest relationship with these kids. Like real talk, I've told their kids, like, I'll never be their dad.
Yeah.
I'll never, even no matter what happens, where my relationship with their mom goes, I will never be their dad because they never needed a dad. Never. They never, ever needed a dad.
They've gotten this far.
And they're happy kids. They're happy kids. They're grateful kids. And that's all because of her. That's
Are they full Hispanic? Are they full Mexican? Yeah. So
yeah, they're full Mexican.
I feel like that's a lot of Mexican kids do. Like like I said, we're very resilient. Like my parents are great. My parents have always been very supportive. They're supportive in things that are like realistic.
Yeah.
You know, like with comedy, like they'll come to my shows sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
They love it. Like,
I don't think I would
it.
ever invite my parents to my
Dude,
comedy.
I was hesitant about it, but the first show that they came to was actually my first show at Dallas.
You know what?
Comedy
I
Club.
might invite my dad.
Yeah.
I would invite my dad on a low key.
Dude.
Because he might be okay, but like my mom, hell no.
So you need to do what I did.
Okay.
So on 420,
What'd you do?
420 at Dallas Comedy Club. That was my first.
Have you smoked with your dad?
No.
Oh, that's my dream.
No, I haven't.
I want to smoke with my dad so bad.
We did edibles together in Oregon.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Okay.
No, I mean, he was kind of complaining the whole time. He's like, "This is supposed to make your head hurt" and all this other shit. But he was fine. But on 420 at Dallas Comedy Club, that was my first comedy club show. And they came out to that, and they were front row, like we were right there. Have you performed at Dallas Comedy Club, the main room? Yeah. So they're like right there in the front row. Like, we're like the only row you can see because of lights, you can't see shit else.
Right.
And I'm going on about smoking with different races and everything. And whenever I talk about white people,
I did a show with you at Dallas Comedy Club.
Yeah, you did.
It was that one?
We did a show with Trey Pack, Mike Eaton, and Darren
yeah.
That was a dead show.
Yeah.
Dead.
I mean, but it was a still decent enough crowd.
Yeah, it was fun
for a decent set.
It was
right?
fun. But yeah, they were front row, and like whenever I talk about white people and smoking with them, I talk about like how to smoke heroin, like step by step, how to do black tar heroin, and so I'm explaining this.
How do you do it? No, don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
Don't do it. Don't.
I want to actually push the podcast world to the
and let me say,
market.
I've never done heroin. I've never fucking done it, but I grew up around people. No, fuck that. He said yes.
Look at his. There's no way your mustache would spike that high.
That's meth. No.
There we go.
But no, I grew up around people that like did heroin and everything, and so that's how I knew how to do it.
Yeah.
And so I was doing this like my goal was to piss off my dad. Like that was my goal. Was like I want to go into this and piss him off because it's the most fun thing. Like when I was a kid, I was really scared.
And he can't get mad at you when there's
no,
like
he
a
can't get mad at me. I'm a grown ass man. I have my own apartment. I pay my bills. I had all this other shit. But the goal was to piss him off. And like
that's funny as hell.
And whenever I started talking about heroin, like I look over and he's just shaking his head, just what the fuck?
That is the number one useless shake that we know way too well, huh, Johnny?
I was so fucking happy, bro. That might be one of my favorite
What
sets.
was your dad's post show review?
He was really proud of me. He was really happy.
Really?
Yeah, he was
Yo.
really happy.
Yeah, that's what's up,
Like
dude.
I remember he was
That means he actually loves you, bro.
No, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The next day he texted me, and he's like, "It was weird to see you on stage because it seemed like a whole different person." Because like growing up, like I've always been very shy,
That's
very
strong.
to
That's strong.
myself.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I've never been outspoken. Like I always, because like I was always a friend that people picked on. I was like very easy, like bully targets. I was bullied and everything, but like I had a voice. I just couldn't express it. But with stand up, I was able to express it finally, and so that's why like, I think my dad was like, he's just like, it's just crazy to see you in a whole different light now, because who I am on the stage is
That's
nothing
amazing,
like when I'm
dude.
out
And I love that. And like, I guess for my my parents know me as an MC.
Yeah.
And because I do all these weddings and shit, like I was in the business for like years, and when I started then building the reputation around the Indian community, it was people that they knew from the church and wherever else and stuff that they were like, oh, we saw Shawn at, you know, they're like, they would say like, oh, we saw Shawn. Oh no, we saw Shawn Kay at the MC at the wedding, you know?
Yeah.
And that's where their pride came in. It was
Yeah.
kind of getting that validation.
Yeah.
But I understand that because it's kind of like my parents don't know. Like when it comes to a stage, when it comes to a microphone, they're like, he will command it.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know how he does it, but he can do it.
It's the
Like
same
my
thing,
my
yeah.
my parents know that. But like that's something is a stronger piece, and I think that like is most stand-up comedians come into the game and they're not experienced performers.
They're not, no.
They're really just people trying to speak their truth. They're
Yeah.
really just trying to people that kind of express their thoughts and the way they see the world and be like, kind of come to terms like, am I that fucking weird? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, am
exactly.
I that crazy?
I
You
didn't know how fucking weird I was until I started doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Like, I had
You
no
didn't
fucking-
know until you started doing stand-up?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Oh,
Because like
shit.
all my group of friends were all the same. Like what actually changed my perspective a little bit was one of my buddies, one of my roommates, his ex worked for Raytheon. And Raytheon, they like scour like their whole fucking background.
What is
Because
Raytheon?
Raytheon does a bunch of government contracts.
I was like thinking through the
So
okay.
Raytheon does like fucking missiles and shit like that.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
from my
This is a
understanding.
big contract company.
Somebody's gonna be like, that's not what Raytheon.
War Dog
Yeah,
shit.
they do a bunch of different shit.
That War Dog shit.
So like they're all government contracting. So like these people, like she invited her. Yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
She invited her friends from Raytheon, and they were the most square people I've ever met in my life. Like I've never met somebody like whenever we were rolling up a blunt, and they were just like, oh my god, is that marijuana? And I'm just like,
They got the shakes.
and they're just like, I was like, yeah, you guys want some? And they're like, oh, I didn't know there were gonna be drugs at this party. Like that was enough for me to just. That was enough for me to be like, oh shit, maybe I am fucked up. Like maybe me and my group of
shit.
friends is fucked up.
And are you Dallas born and raised?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Dallas. I was born at the Baylor Medical Center, like in downtown, like by Deep Ellum.
Oh,
I was
shit,
born right
Baylor.
there. Yeah, so Deep Ellum was basically my home. Like I was
Yeah.
born a stone's throw away from
Yeah,
there.
you know what's funny? It like to tell someone where you from, like where you're born and like but where you are, right? Like, because you know some people will like be born in a city, but then they'll like grow up somewhere else. But if you were born and raised in a city, you always say the hospital that
Yeah.
you were born at.
Oh
right?
yeah, you got to make
Because
sure.
whether it's still open or closed, people in Dallas will know that, or people just from that city will know that hospital.
Well, it's
right?
also cool because like whenever I tell people I'm from Dallas, I am from Dallas.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
Dallas proper.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not from Richardson or
Yeah.
Allen or any of this bullshit. Like
You're
I'm
from Dallas. Yeah,
Dallas,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And I'm able to say that with truth.
For rent purposes, you had to move out to Richardson.
We were talking about that shit, man. Like with the whole Universal adding their park into Frisco and everything. It's
Oh,
gonna
Universal
fuck-
City, yeah,
It's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
fuck everything.
Yeah,
up.
so you know what's crazy? So I told you, I was telling you, yo, dude. So I was speaking like that. So I was telling you, my parents moved to like Little Elm.
Hell yeah.
And so they live right off University Boulevard.
Yeah.
Which is like they're essentially converting that to a highway. At the same time, they're developing businesses all along that
Oh, yeah,
shit,
dude,
right?
that's like all of that area.
And
It's,
so
like,
and
fucking
I
insane.
and this might I don't know if this is true or not, but I think that their long-term goal is to make it like kind of like New Orleans, but it's like a two-stacked highway in a
Dude,
sense where it's kind of like There's like where you pretty much get to Deep Ellum, where that
Yeah.
that whole mix of highways and shit.
Yeah.
Where they plan on making University Boulevard, where there's a frontage or service road on the bottom, and then there's an expressway that goes all the way on top.
Okay, yeah.
Because right now the traffic is stupid.
Oh yeah, no,
It's
I'm
so
well aware, yeah.
unbelievable, bro, and it's like gonna get worse.
No, yeah. It's
But
gonna be way
here's
worse.
the credit that I'm gonna give to like DFW especially.
Okay.
That they work on a different scale because I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
I've been dealing with traffic my whole life.
Never been to Chicago, so I wouldn't be.
Man,
able to
if
tell
you
anything.
go, try.
He said don't.
Oh, let me visit your hometown of East Texas. Shut up. Yeah.
hey, East Texas, shout out to
Have
my
you been?
sister.
You've been? How many times you been to Chicago?
4 or 5 times.
When did you go? During the wintertime or summertime? Almost every time. And
Spring, summer,
you're not about it. You're not about it.
Hey,
That's
real
fine.
quick.
Are you about New York?
I kind of like New York.
Fuck out of here, dude. You're just dirty, bro. It's
Real,
just-
real quick, when he said East Texas, shout out to my sister Michaela out at SFA. She's about to get
Hey,
her master's.
Michaela.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Jacks.
Yeah.
She's the smart one.
Jacks are.
She's going to college?
Yeah, she's the
She's
smart
doing it for your
I
fam?
I failed out of college on purpose.
Where'd you go?
I went to Collin College. So I shouldn't have graduated high school. Like that's a legit. I legit.
You know
should
what?
not have
Hold on.
graduated high
I'm
school.
gonna. I know this is gonna go into a deep dive when we're
Yeah.
talking. When you're talking about past stuff and you're talking about high school and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
this is where the conversation goes into a deep dive. So
Oh, boy.
we've gone about 50 minutes, a little bit more. We're gonna take a short break.
Yeah.
We have sponsors. We might have to throw in squeeze some sort of breakthrough into dialogue, but that's the fun that happens on this
Yeah,
podcast.
do what you
y'all.
gotta do, bud.
So we're gonna take a short break. We're gonna refill our glasses and we're gonna
Yeah.
get ready. And Reed has to tell me something. So
Hell
we'll
yeah.
be right back.
Yo, I got to take a second real quick to tell you about our sponsors that we have here for the Metro Icon podcast, starting with Insider Cloth. Now, Insider Cloth, y'all, is an innovative application to bring more clarity to all your everyday glass, screens, and professional lenses where you won't have to worry about forgetting that microfiber cloth to get the job done. Insider Cloth is an iron-pressed microfiber cloth to apply to any of your clothes or professional wear, which resides on the inside of your apparel. Now, your general fabrics can actually create micro abrasions to your glass surfaces, and over time, it actually will reduce the clarity and visibility to your glasses, cell phone, or other glass product or screens. It's super easy to apply and can be added on the inside of your common wear or even the specialty wear like your men's ties or pocket squares. Now, go to insidercloth.com and apply the promo code DIACLOTH. That's DIACLOTH to get 10% off your next order. And I promise you, y'all, Insider Cloth is the last microfiber cloth you will ever need.
And now for all those homeowners out there, whether you need to get a new roof or you have a home restoration project you need to get done, y'all got to hit up my guy, Teddy Johnson of DNK Contracting. He is the most elite choice of all your commercial or residential contract needs. Teddy Johnson has been proudly serving DFW and providing all roofing style needs, as well as gutter and siding installation, custom metalwork, kitchen and bathroom remodels, fence building, window replacements, and so much more. And especially when dealing with those tedious insurance claims, Teddy Johnson provides the most outstanding quality of work and customer service you won't receive anywhere else. You got to email him now at teddyj.dkcontracting@gmail.com. Get a free consultation on your next home restoration project or home repair. And of course, y'all, you know I got to talk about my businesses. Do It All Entertainment. For anyone looking to amplify their next live event, whether it's a corporate event, conference, or that special wedding celebration with your loved ones. Do It All Entertainment brings the highest and most dynamic performance entertainment with top quality audio and visuals. There's literally no limit to what we can provide and can be accomplished at your next event. So visit us at doitallive.com or email us at info@doitallentertainment.com. Mention the Metro Icon podcast to get a unique offer on your next event package. Then, of course, we have DIA Media for your go-to media production and creative consultation needs. If you're looking to amplify your business or brand visual promotions and trying to start a podcast of your own, reach out to DIA Media through our Facebook page and mention the Metro Icon podcast to get a special offer on your production needs. Yo, now I gotta tell you about my number one spot in all of Fort Worth. This is the Library Bar FTW. It's the most
unique bar and entertainment venue located in downtown Fort Worth, Texas. From its chic library ambience, multi-level beercade gaming space, you can find the most dynamic events and party atmosphere you will not find anywhere else. And it's always the spot you can catch me at. Check out the Library Bar at 611 Houston Street, right at the center of downtown Fort Worth, and get everything you could ever want on your night out.
Hey, what it is, what it do? It's your boy Blue Label Johnny, giving you the Blue Label Weekend Itinerary. On Friday nights, you can catch me with the lovely staff of Hooters Grand Prairie, kicking off the weekend in style. And on Saturday night, the party's going down. I'm busting out the karaoke. I'm at Eagles Point in Saginaw. And on Sunday, to close out the weekend, you can catch me in downtown Fort Worth at the Library Bar. Check in with me all weekend long, ladies and gentlemen. I'm holding the party down.
And we're back here for the Metro Icon podcast, y'all. Talking to my guy, Mr. Anthony Ramoz.
You actually said it really good there.
Yeah. Benefits of being engaged to a Mexican woman, dude.
Yeah,
It
no
comes
shit.
up, bro. That's one thing I get actually about going back to Steady Eddie and shit. Is because I started singing like more Spanish music, so me and him also he can actually sing pretty good. Eddie,
I
he's
believe it,
like
yeah.
like he has like that good low tone and stuff.
I've heard
but
it, yeah.
I busted out some Selena Como La Flor while he was there.
That's the most generic shit. That's
But a guy singing Como La Flor and I can hit them notes.
Look,
listen. Eddie was he was like mad. And he's like, man, you already stole one of our girls. Now you're trying to steal our music and shit. These fucking Indians, bro.
Well, look, doing Como La Flor for Mexicans is like doing Don't Stop Believing for white people. It's
All right,
the
no.
same
I'm
shit.
gonna give you a better reference because I do karaoke.
Yeah.
Doing Como La Flor is like doing Wannabe by Spice Girls. Because
yeah.
that's like what every Spanish girl does it. But you'll never see a dude do Como La Flor. You'll see a dude attempt Bad Bunny and fucking bomb it.
No, you gotta do Vicente Fernandez.
Vicente
do.
Fernandez.
You gotta do Vicente, bro.
There we go. I feel like when you do all your Spanish references, your like mustache is like.
It grows a little bit. it grows a little
Like,
bit.
you know what I'm saying? Like it does a little like tickle. Like it's happy that you're like reaching into its.
I'm getting into my roots.
It's like we are just trying to come alive, Anthony. But yeah, so like he was mad that day because he just knows that I'm like coming into like the Spanish culture of things.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, you just mad because I can sing Spanish better than you. He's like, that's one of the reasons. That's like one of the bit. So it's like I'm like looking forward to having that moment with Eddie, and especially Eddie's gonna come through for On Air Don't Care.
Yeah.
Because that one's just gonna go off the wall
It'll
and
be
off the
fun,
rails.
yeah.
And he did a good job holding it down for Greasy Seat. You know, with the
Yeah, he
three-way
did. He did a really good
he's
job.
fucking funny. He's just
Yeah.
funny.
No, I like. There's good chemistry there. Like me and him, like it's easy
Yeah.
to bounce off of each other.
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
mean,
really,
yeah.
really
I mean,
grateful for
you
that.
gonna gravitate to the people in the tribe.
Yeah,
Case
no
in
shit.
point, me and John. You
Yeah,
know?
no shit. That's
And
just
like
the way
you
it
can
is.
give each other like shit, but it's like you give each other love, and that's kind of like that's part of that's the heart of every crew, right? And that's
Yeah.
the same thing with you and Noah, I'm sure
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
right? And you're not part of the same tribes. You're just part of the same vibe.
It's
you
just
know?
the fucking metal scene. Bro.
Exactly.
It's really just the
Yeah.
metal scene.
So
yeah.
before we had the break and stuff, you were kind of going into your high school career, like who you were, right?
Yeah.
And we had talked about a little bit in the earlier episode about when your dad first saw you perform, and you were like trying to disappoint your father, which is so fucking great. Like that is so like that's the basis of a really good like set where like you kind of have like a low key agenda and it ends up becoming even funnier, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're not even putting it to light, you end up putting it.
It makes it more fun.
Yeah,
It really does.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
It makes it more fun.
So, like, you know, but him that being a pride point, regardless of what disappointing things you were saying on the microphone and subject matter, you know, knowing who you were like growing up and being able to see you come out of your shell and speak in a way that he's never heard you speak before, right? So, like, you know, you were kind of going to a story of like when you were in high school and who you were and the situations you've been in.
In high school, I was just the quiet kid. Like I was the kid that like everybody knew, but like I never got invited to shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like everybody knew who I was, but like,
I was kind of in a secondary degree. Like I wasn't popular.
yeah,
But I knew everybody, and
Yeah.
I would sometimes just be at parties through like mutual connections, but I never got a personal invite.
I never went to a party in high school. I never did a party.
Oh,
A high
really?
school party. Never.
And mine was like later because I was
See,
a late puberty.
I was a gamer, bro. I literally just played games all the time. Like, that's all I was doing.
And the vibe back in the day wasn't. It's not what it is now.
No. Back in the day, if you played games, you were a fucking loser.
Yeah.
It's all it was. You were a nerd. You were a loser, and that's kind of like who I gravitated towards, like hanging out with. And a lot of the people I hung out with in high school, I'm still best friends with to this day.
Oh, that's good.
You know, like they're still my best friends, but like. You know, it's gotten weird. Like since I started doing stand up, I've gotten people from my high school reach out to me and just be like, "Hey, man, it's really cool to see you doing this stuff," and blah blah blah. Like, hey, thanks, man, appreciate it. And then it always ends up in the same weird thing. Hey, you think I could get tickets to this show and blah blah? It's like, bro, I don't have that much.
So they
power.
Indian your ass.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
that's an Indian thing, you know.
But
What I
like,
mean?
it's weird because like people that used to bully me are telling me congratulations and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
But that,
is
you know what? That's
this?
all. I mean, like for me, like I mean, I had those guys in Chicago. I'm like, but I don't talk to them.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
They just live their own life. It's funny though, is
Yeah.
that I actually did a wedding. And they were like they were guests at the wedding,
Yeah.
and I would see them and shit. They're like, "Yo, what the fuck," you know, like. And
Dude.
so it is an endearing quality,
Yeah.
right? It's actually a pride point that you can have for yourself to recognize your own personal growth, right?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, because like in high school, like I was talking about my sister and everything. My sister is the very smart one.
You just have one, or
I have one. It's just me and my sister.
younger or older?
Younger.
Okay.
So I'm the first kid. I am a wedlock baby. I'm the reason my parents got married and everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Shotgun wedding?
No, it wasn't shotgun. it was just more of like, I think, I know I'm going to fuck up this age thing. My dad, I think, was 22. My mom was like 24. And they had me.
Nice.
And it was one of those things where it's like, we got to get married now. And usually those marriages don't work out too well, but they've been together ever since. They've been the best parents I
Damn,
could ask
so you
for.
became the like spermicidal like cream filling. Not spermicidal because your sperm works.
My dad
but,
forgot
like,
to pull out. And now
Yeah,
I'm here.
yeah,
You know? That's-
But again, but it's kind of the glue that got their relationship to work,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
and
Because
it worked.
Johnny, was your parents arranged marriage? Yeah. So my parents.
he goes,
Yeah.
40. I'll be 40.
He's 45 years. Yeah.
That
So
look.
my parents were an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
Like I mean, not to say that love marriage don't happen in India, but like, especially like it only happens more now, you know,
yeah.
where the kids are like, I'm fucking choosing it, you know?
I don't have an arranged marriage. It's crazy.
Yeah, right. He doesn't for sure. Yeah, 100%, you know? But like, my parents were in arranged, and it's like, I saw the relationship where like, it's good now. They've established it to the point of just like, almost like, interpersonal turmoil of years and years where like me and my sister were kind of like, why are you guys married? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like one thing I can say about my parents is that they did not believe in the concept of divorce.
yeah.
They did not believe in that. And that was, and
Why? Because in India it takes 10 years. To
yeah.
Holy
Well, I mean, but they were in America.
But that
Not
value,
anymore. Not anymore.
That value is instilled. It still takes forever to get.
So if
To get a divorce?
In India,
dude.
Oh,
so if you
really?
Get,
value is instilled in them.
I guess you can have a
It's easier to
separation.
work it out than it is to get a divorce.
You know
So-
what? That I didn't know that, and that actually makes sense because I feel like that I've heard of separations in India where
Yeah,
like
because
couples
it's
would
easier to be
separate,
separated than
but you
it
don't.
is
They
to
never classified it. That's actually interesting. I did not know that.
that's fucking weird.
So like so okay, all right. So but either way, like my parents also like they didn't want to get divorced for their kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they kind of just as soon as they had kids, like that was what it was. That their everything for their life was that,
Right,
And so
right.
my parents, made that sacrifice. But it's interesting the fact that like your birth is like actually the basis of their love, and they
Yeah.
have a good relationship.
No, they have a great relationship. It is weird whenever you say it out loud, but like
Outside perspective, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like,
No,
but
it
that's
is
what I just
weird.
heard.
No,
You know,
it is weird, but like at the same time, yeah, they're great.
that's kind of
Like, they
dope.
are-
Like
yeah.
it, to be honest, like like how many mistakes are there in the world? You know what I'm saying? Like, like I heard comedians talk about their child support bill plans and shit like that, and you're like, that's just for one kid, not even including the other five. You
See,
know.
the thing is, man, it's like yeah, I'm.
And
the
your
ba-
parents don't have kids with anyone
no,
else?
no,
Yeah,
no.
that's
No,
okay.
they're-
Props to
they're-
them.
it's
Outside
just-
kids. Whoa.
Yeah, they're just.
It's not a shade. I'm
Yeah.
asking.
But like they have like.
Sound like shade.
everybody always says, man, like I am an exact copy of my dad. Everybody has always said, like all of my dad.
What does your dad do for work?
My dad is a salesman. He does a government contracting and all that. He does like AV technology and shit.
Oh,
So,
shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's a salesman, and I think that's why I'm so good at like speaking, is because like he would like drag me into meetings and be like, look how I talk to this person, look at my mannerisms, and look at how all this happens. I'm like fucking 6.
You know what?
You know,
You know what? I love that, dude. I love that you're highlighting the fact that like of who you are and the way you present yourself is a lot to how your dad is.
yeah.
Because if you hear my dad talk, you're like, there's a vast difference. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Johnny can definitely relate to that. Like, and I've heard your dad talk. I'm like, Johnny and Joji don't look and sound anything like fucking this guy. But I'm sure that there's personality traits.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's more
Yeah,
so
yeah.
personality traits like trigger points or just, you know, certain like just like characteristics that like are similar to your dad.
Yeah.
But like having that quality where like, oh no, who I am as like a presenter and the way I like conduct myself,
Yeah.
it's a lot. And my dad, like, you know, like he did it well. You know,
Yeah.
that shows that he made a really strong impact because you're a good dude. I mean, like but like that's gonna I think be your success. I think within comedy, me being like looking on the producer role type of thing. And ultimately, I'm looking at comedy as an outlet to try and become, you know, get representation and get, you know, do commercial acting and all that kind of stuff. And and I seen you being able to actually kind of deliver on just being able to emphasize, and I think in the industry is kind of gravitating to comedians a little bit. But, you know, that right there is, you know, your big selling proposition, and the fact that you kind of took that quality, I'm like, that means that you did a good job.
I mean, I get my public speaking from my dad, and I get my like how affectionate I am to everybody from my mom.
That
You know, like,
sensitivity.
yeah, like I'm very sensitive.
Cry a
because of
lot?
my-
Do you cry a lot, dude?
Every so often, yeah. Like,
cry a lot.
Like my
I'm very sensitive.
The anniversary of my ex breaking up with me was on the 22nd, and I remember
Like
I cried
one-
on that
one
day.
year?
Yeah, 1 year. That's why I started. That's why I got into comedy, man. It was
That's
because,
good, dude.
yeah.
Like that means that you have a good empath quality because being able to kind of, because like a lot of people will just take that and they just they let it go, right? And but being able to like you remember it and then you kind of can maybe put yourself in to that situation, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
almost like you know, when I've had very close family members that pass, and it's like, you know, certain songs that kind of connect me. It's like whenever I hear that, it's like I put myself back into that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's actually it's a tool actually that can really help you in this game.
Yeah.
Being very very socially empathic.
But no, they're very proud considering where I was, because like in school, man, like I did really well all the way up until probably like 7th grade. I think at 7th grade, I just kind of like.
Got a leg up on the game, right?
Yeah,
Before you had to actually take yourself seriously.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah,
What
yeah.
the fuck is middle school? Let's just talk about how stupid middle school is in general.
Well, because like the thing
you
is,
stopped halfway through the most pointless part of school.
in elementary, I was the
Yeah.
cool kid. Everybody knew me, and then I moved towns for middle
When did you
school.
move? Oh, so was that when your Dallas to Satchsea?
I moved from Garland to Saxe.
Saxe.
Yeah, I moved to Saxe. And I moved to Saxe in 6th grade, and like I only knew like probably 2 people going in from my neighborhood, and so I was just
The Mexicans that made it.
No, it was an Asian kid and one other Mexican kid. It was it. And that Asian kid, I still live with him to this day.
Oh,
Like,
so it's that same dude that you just mentioned?
Yeah, I love him to death, bro. Fucking Richie. Shout out to Richie.
You like ramen?
Oh, fucking, I love
Yeah,
everything
right,
Asian.
yeah.
I worked with Koreans for too fucking long. Like, I worked with Koreans for too fucking long, and now I make Korean food at home all the time and shit. But like, no, like considering where I was in school, like I gave up after a while, and then in high school, I know that they were a little worried because like I was just consistently just doing shit, like just consistently. I didn't have the attention span. I didn't give a fuck. I always just felt like college is not for me. You know, like I can't sit there and have you tell me equations, and I'm not gonna memorize it. It's just not for me. Like I did really well in history and English, like composition. I did really well in that. But everything else, it was just dog shit, especially math. Like to this day, if you show me math problems, I'm gonna get a fucking panic attack.
All right,
'Cause
so
I fucking hate
so
math.
you know how you and I connected on both of us having dyslexia?
Yeah.
So the form of dyslexia I have is dyscalculia.
Yeah, I have that too.
And so
Yeah.
it's like they even pinpointed to the point where like there's more than 5, it was when I started. Now it's a little bit better, but when there was 5, like when they pinpointed, it was like I was like 19 years old.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, once it gets around 5, 6 digits, that's when your brain will start to scramble it.
Yeah.
But it's way worse when there's words and numbers intertwined.
It's letters, dude.
Yeah.
Algebra. I never got
Oh
past
yeah. Yes, I never got past that. I just passed algebra.
Yeah.
Never got past any. I think I literally catered my college career
Yeah.
in the least amount of math requirements.
It-
I swear to God.
Dude, it's cool that you catered your career because I didn't do shit for college.
You're like, I'm done. No more.
So the whole thing with college was like my dad had this rule. He said, if you're going to live here, you're going to have to go to school, which I respect because it's his house and he makes the rules. It's fine.
Sure.
So I tried to get out of the fucking house as quick as I could. I was stupid as shit and I moved out at 19. And whenever I moved out at 19, I was still going to school just to try to make him happy. But like at that point, I already knew like I'm not gonna pass this shit. So like what I did was I actually failed out on purpose. So initially I was trying. I went for audio engineering and everything. I failed the music class because I never took a music class before, and the teacher basically just told me like,
you didn't even fail in like hard school. You
Yeah.
failed art school.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
So I failed out. I failed out of that program. But
The art division.
Yeah.
And
I
they're
found out
like you're gonna run into your old art teacher in like a Walmart or some shit. And they're gonna be like, so what are you doing now, Anthony? And you'll be like, oh, I do stand-up comedy.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
like, you fucking sucked at art.
You know, shit. I was great at art, but like I was great at audio engineering, but I couldn't do the things that like were like the prerequisites and everything for it. Like to actually get to the actual audio
You
engineering.
still gotta know some shit about
Yeah. Like
well-
they're like, you need to have a base understanding of life.
Yeah,
Like,
so, like,
principle.
of sound, of like, you know.
I know all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I've been producing music since
So
I was
what,
like
so
12.
if you have dyscalculia, like would it like if you were looking at like a decibel reading and all that kind of shit?
There's no dude. Like I've been doing it for like I said. I've been doing music.
So
since
you
I was
have a
12.
sound engineer like background.
Yeah.
And that's what but you just don't do it now?
I fuck around with it every so often. I'll make some music every so often, but like I don't fuck around with it like I used to. Like I was going to school for it.
Dude,
and
let me tell you this
it was
right now.
bad. It
If
was
you're
weird.
looking, if you have this distributor job, which gives you the luxury where you're able to show up on an afternoon and a Friday
yeah, exactly.
for a
Yeah.
podcast, right?
2 o'clock. Just
I
show
can tell.
up.
I can
Yeah.
tell you right now, dude. Like, if you have a fundamental understanding for DJing,
I do.
then you do that. Like,
Yeah.
you can like that right there. That's an investment towards the bags that's going to get you your investment property, right?
Yeah.
And if you understand sound engineering and shit like that, dude, like we're only building up the team.
Yeah, it's
you know?
fun, man. Like,
And
I
I
enjoy
want,
it, yeah.
I just want any type of avenue to make Noah think that I'm stealing people from his team. It would just be such a funny flex.
Look, I'm not
Be like, I'm bringing Anthony over to my side now. He's gonna be like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
I don't plan on going anywhere.
yeah.
I like where
No,
I'm at.
you a shark, bro.
I am, dude.
You're a shark,
But
dude.
like, yeah,
He's a
so
shark, we're sharks. We'll
Yeah, no, but like Noah's Shark Ride, like it's Swimming with Sharks comedy. That's like
hell
the
yeah.
name of his thing.
Swimming with Sharks Entertainment. There you go.
Hole.
Gotta make sure we
Oh.
get it right.
Soul Sorry.
If I'm representing it,
Is that his LLC name?
I don't fucking know.
No, it's no, I get it, but like one thing that it was prevalent, even before building my relationship with you, is I'm like, yo, Anthony's a loyal motherfucker, like, and so
Yeah.
that's one thing that I can always love and appreciate about you. But you contributed well to the game, man. I'll tell you this, dude. I would say one of my favorite nights at it actually was kind of like a reason, like, oh, I get why comedy or comedians or why the ruthlessness can come sometimes. Because there's like that one dude that was showing up that like, I guess it was his first time when he first tried it and would show up, but y'all always gave him shit. You always give him shit. I don't know.
You gotta be more specific.
Okay,
because,
so
like,
it's
we
a
do that
dude
to
that was coming.
everybody.
No. It's a specific dude. It was like a young black dude, I think, but he was doing comedy.
Yeah, Bobby.
Yeah.
Well, his name is Marcus Jones. I fuck with him because like
Yeah.
he doesn't go by Bobby Light anymore. I'm like,
Oh, Bobby Light. There we go. That's what it was. Bobby
Yeah,
Light.
yeah.
So like,
I fuck with him,
because but here was the thing was that like I guess he was coming to a couple Thursdays, and maybe that's when I started kind of coming a little bit more regularly, and then I started seeing you guys just rip into this motherfucker the second he walked in the building, and the premise was it was that like he's been doing it. I think it was like at least definitely more than a month, but it was like a good series of mics that he was coming in. And I guess, and you guys actually do a good job of being able to even off stage, providing some critique that what you think, and that's what you got to take in this comedy game.
Right.
Regardless, you don't have to agree with it.
No,
you know
you
what I mean?
don't, no.
But like, you have to be able to be willing to listen to especially comedians, be able to talk, like willing to, if they're coming from a place, it was one thing for them to just talk shit about your set,
right,
and just be like, oh, you're not funny or whatever, give you reasons why you're not funny, but they give you insight in like how to make it better, right? And I think that you guys definitely do that, especially off the mic. And I think that's a good contribution that you give to the game, right? And this dude is a guy that's heard a lot of critiques and just would not put it into plan of action. And he's just doing the same shit over and over and over again, but there's no shift, right? Because like as a comedian, you can work out a joke for months before you find the pocket. You just know that it's funny, but you're at least changing up the model of delivery.
You got to make some changes,
right?
At some
And
point,
so this guy just wasn't changing the model. He wasn't making any shifts, and he just kept saying that, hoping that one day it would be funny, I guess. And I think that like y'all went in on him on one Thursday. It was kind of like a fed up point, but I was like, where to me as an outsider, I was like, damn, y'all are fucking like going in on this dude. Like, why? Like, and it doesn't seem like this is a dude with a whole lot of self-confidence.
Well, no, I remember that because like Bobby was like, I saw the potential. And that's what frustrated me is I saw the potential in like what he could do, but like he just insisted.
Because you're definitely a big advocate for comedy. Like you can see it in your eyes, but feel it in your bones. Regardless of where you get in this game, you are a big comedy fan.
Yes.
And so that is like, you know, I think that's a big tool to, you know, being like some people just like people getting into DJing just for the sheer vanity of it. Just being that guy.
But like the thing with Marcus, like, his name is Marcus, and the thing with Marcus is like we put him on a show to like just really see, like we put him on arenas, like an actual comedy showcase.
Like a showcase. Okay.
Yeah. And he did really well. He did really fucking good. Like this was post talk and everything.
So maybe he just needs a decent crowd. Because Reno's can be a little bit rough.
Reno's is tough, dude.
It's a crowd.
It's a tough.
That's why
crowd.
I feel even as happy as I do with the laughs that I get, I feel like it's still on a little bit of a higher than general stance.
It's a tough crowd.
Yeah, it's a crowd.
That is not an easy crowd, and like we knew that for Marcus, and we told him like, look, man, you just got to work on this and this and this and this, and he disappeared for a while, but. He actually recorded an album and everything. Like he's a rapper.
Comedy album?
No,
he's a rapper.
Yeah, well, R&B artist, rapper, whatever.
I started seeing.
But he's really good.
I started seeing a shift in that.
You're talking about
Marcus Jones.
It sounds familiar. I think I might know this guy.
Yeah, he's really fucking good.
Yeah. And, so have you ever been to Green Elephant on Tuesdays?
Dude, fucking, you talking about no Drum Circles Wednesdays, right? Yeah.
Well, that's their green night.
Dude, I have I have so many fucking stories.
Man, actually, bro, we really don't have shit on Wednesday nights. That should be the role. Usually I'm just like kind of grinding on it, but like.
That's when I'm editing your fucking podcast.
Dude, I have.
I love you, Johnny.
I have so many fucking stories.
I can't do this game without you. I love you.
I have so many fucking stories about fucking.
Green Elephant's dope.
Dude, like,
but their mics, their Tuesday open mic is how I started. Before I started going to comedy open mics, I actually started there. So I'd be the only comedian. And what I would do is I started with 3 minutes of jokes and then go into one of my songs.
Yeah, because like that's a tough crowd too. But like no, Marcus, like big shout out to him, man. Like he's improved. He's improved
that's
a lot.
good.
Like he's
good.
He's been actually taking it more serious. I think he took at first I think he took the talk that we had with him on stage as like
you know, and I think that's what it was. There was like kind of like that live dialogue, like where he's kind of like, man, what the fuck, man? Like why you going so in? And it was kind of like you were kind of being just very bluntly like, yo, bro, like you've been coming in for weeks. Like we've been telling you this shit. You're not changing nothing up. And I was like, God damn, like And so it was one of those things where but again, even the way you're speaking about him now, like you can feel like you're coming actually from a very supportive stance.
Yeah, I wanted him to do
and being
good,
able to speak his growth and all that kind of stuff. That's a great thing, man. Well, shit, dude. I mean, either way, dude. To the journey of our relationship and where it's gone, and seeing what Noah's done, but with you by his side, bro. Like I'm telling you right now, last night's success. you are a very beneficial factor to its growth. And I definitely want to point that out for as an outsider and all that kind of stuff, as a comedy producer and everything like that. Also seeing the differential of your lack of presence on those nights, and Noah's good, but it's like it's greater, when you have that supportive camaraderie. Shout out to Johnny, because that's my guy. But like, I want to give you your roses because you're a fantastic comedian. You're a fantastic support.
Thank you.
You're a great contributor to the comedy game, man.
Thank you. I
And
really appreciate that.
and I'm happy for just the overall relationship camaraderie that we're being able to build.
Yeah, man.
And thank you for coming in, dude.
Dude, absolutely.
Thank you for showing up.
Anytime. Dude,
Anytime.
anytime.
I'm hoping that your episode is going to come out. I hope before I bring Steady Eddie's on this show, before I bring Steady Eddie on, I'm gonna make sure he sees your episode first. So it's gonna be some time. That motherfucker, he in limbo now.
Yeah.
He in limbo now because he's gonna come up to me like, "Hey man, when we doing it?" I'm like, "Shut up, Eddie, bro."
Hey, wait, they got another Mexican in here, so there you go.
Yes, the right one. So,
I'm
no,
not
but
gonna
like,
go.
He's a Mexican. We got a Mexican.
yeah, that's right.
Goddamn
That's right.
You're
That's right, Steady.
You're goddamn right.
Steady Eddie, Johnny said it right, bro. You a Mexican, dog. You a Mexican. My job called me.
I love that my face is going to be included in this.
There we go. so we need to work. He hates my thumbnails for all the episodes and shit because he's an artist.
Yeah.
He's an artist, and so we're figuring out the avenues of efficiency of being able to get all
That's
these.
me taking the pictures right now. That's gonna be the new.
But we need to do it where it's kind of like it's face isolated with the graphics and like colored background. Do it, and I'll understand. Otherwise, then I got to do it. If you don't do it, then I got to do it.
all other than what the fuck I do. That's
You should do AI generated art. See how that goes.
Oh, that'd be a good one. we need. I would invest in that. An AI generated like thumbnail program, where it just takes
I can't wait till AI comes for y'all's job. That's what I can't wait.
Oh,
That-
he's speaking
AI
very
generated comedy.
Johnny's
Fuck
speaking
that.
very passionately because he knows AI's coming for his job.
I can't wait till.
He's like the warning. Whenever his job gets taken, it's like, oh shit.
He's the one guy like, look out, motherfuckers. He's like, that motherfucker's just yelling
Look
again.
at y'all look at when that robot stand-up comes up and God damn, he's funny on his first night.
Yeah, you
It's
ain't.
like, it's like finding dinosaur shit, and you're like, oh wait, there's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
No, it's alligator, bro. It's alligator. No, but thank you again for showing up, dude. That
Absolutely, man.
means a lot.
Thank you for
And
having me.
I always have a deeper connection point whenever somebody actually comes on the Metro Icon podcast. That is a really big in-depth highlight to who you are and why you are. But again, it's kind of like, even if the guy's not some sort of big name, it's some guy that's providing contribution to the world of entertainment media, and there's always education in that. Right. So we end this podcast in the same exact way. And we allow our guests to just do a final send-off, like a quote, final phrase. And the way I kind of now picture it is like, if this was the last thing you were ever going to say on planet Earth to the world, this is you to close it off. Go ahead.
I gotta say, man, this quote actually comes from Lil Peep, which is yeah, I know, yeah,
I really hope.
yeah, I get it. I get it.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. Just because I'm not a huge Lil Peep fan, but I don't only know my favorite song of his, and so I'll just be like, as Lil Peep said, "You're such a fucking hoe."
That's
I
Lil
love it.
Pump. That's Lil Pump.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh
Yeah,
God. Hold on. I gotta
fuck
give
y'all.
myself.
Womp womp. Womp womp. Give yourself a fucking womp womp. There you go.
That was really bad.
No,
that was really bad.
Look,
that was a Metro Icon worst.
I will,
First worst.
I will say definitely deep dive into like Lil Peep's
Lil Peep. Oh, so
discography.
he passed away, right?
Yes, he
Yeah,
OD'd at the
yeah,
age of 21, I believe.
Okay.
But one thing that he said that really stuck with me, because like before comedy, I was ready to fucking just do it, just go. I didn't have anything to live for. But one thing that he said that really stuck with me is you never know where you're gonna be in a year. You never know how much a year can provide for you, and it's true. Like last year on this day, I had no expectations for anything, and now I've traveled to do comedy. I've done a theater. I have done comedy clubs. I've met like some really big comedians and done shows with them, and I never would have imagined I would be able to do something like this. So my word would just be, you never know where you're going to be in a year, man. Just give yourself the time. Really just go out there and put your mind to something. You can do it, man. I never would have thought I'd do something like this. My parents would tell you the same thing. They never thought that I'd be on stage talking to people, but here I am, man. It's
Dude,
fun.
I absolutely love that send off. I want to tag actually what you just said to actually what Chris of Library Bar, his final statement on his episode was, and he's a guy that been through a lot, and also he's a guy who's full sobriety. He's a general manager of a library bar.
Right.
Doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs, doesn't do nothing.
Hell yeah.
And his final quote was actually "one more day."
Yeah.
And that's kind of the predecessor to where you are. It's one more day, because you never know where you're gonna be a year from now.
Exactly. It's a powerful how much a year can really make. The difference a year can make is insane.
You know
And
what?
I found that out firsthand this year. I really did. After a year doing comedy today, there you go. After,
It's a big deal, dude.
It is a big deal, man. And
And-
it's gone by so fast, but like everything that's happened has just been
Think about that accumulation a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
It's
That
insane.
and
It's
that's
a lot
why
to take
that's why
in.
where I was kind of starting off with my thing. It was just kind of like, yo, think about this in the last year and where it is, and look what's in front of you. And like that was, but again, I have to go. Like if it's Noah's show, I have to give him shit and stuff like that. And I think that's actually a good thing I like too. Is like I give Noah shit and I highlight Anthony. Like that's my winning model at
It's gonna
Reno's.
be, why the fuck were you on there? What the fuck?
Yeah, but the one thing I love about Noah is I can keep doing that, and he's gonna put me on the show. So
Absolutely.
and so
As long as I'm associated, you'll be on the fucking show.
yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's love. So again, thank you.
Absolutely.
And from that final piece, which is a very beautiful piece, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'm proud of you, dude.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, Sean. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Absolutely.